At a news conference on yesterday, Mick Mulvaney, President Trump's budget chief, defended the president's proposed budget that eviscerates programs for the poor while massively giving money to wealthy corporations. Let's take a look at his defense.
Meals on Wheels is not a federal program. It's part of that community, that CDBGs, the block grants that we give to the states. And many states make the decision to use that money on Meals on Wheels. Here's what I can tell you about CDBGs, because that's what we fund, right? Is that we spent $150 billion on those programs since the 1970s. The CDBGs have been identified as programs since, I believe, the second Bush administration, as ones that were just not showing any results. That we can't do that anymore. We can't spend money on programs just because they sound good and great. Meals on Wheels sounds great. Again, that's a state decision to fund that particular portion to it, to take the federal money and give it to the states and say, look, we want to give you money for programs that don't work. I can't defend that anymore. We cannot defend that anymore. We're $20 trillion in debt. We're going to spend money. We're going to spend a lot of money, but we're not going to spend it on programs that cannot show that they actually deliver the promises that we've made to people.
We're going to spend a lot of money. We're still going to spend money. We're spending a lot of money. Except it's going to go to the military and for a giant fucking wall we don't want. Or can't use. Or won't work. But hey, when it comes to Meals on Wheels, man, can't do that. I can't defend that. I can't keep spending money on that. Oh, come on, man. Now, speaking about results, what kind of results do you need? The program literally feeds people who have a hard time getting food. They get the food delivered and they eat it and they're not hungry anymore. I would say those are exactly the kind of results that we should be looking for in a program like Meals on Wheels. Just saying. No, instead these guys are like, results. We're not seeing any results, man. We feed them one day and they're not hungry the next day. We need results. How does that solve the problem? Yeah, no, that's kind of how the whole thing works, is that you're feeding people that are hungry. Look, these people who get Meals on Wheels, they're 60 plus. Right? They're ranged 60 to 100. They're either poor or they're very physically limited. So they don't have either the resources or the ability to get their own food. The point is to take care of these people to make sure they don't starve. Now, what does Mulvaney want them to do? I don't know, get a job? These people are like 90 fucking years old. They're going to get a job. Now, he also talked about after-school programs, after-school lunch programs, and things like that. Let's take a look at that video.
Let's talk about after-school programs generally. They're supposed to be educational programs, right? And that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to help kids who don't get fed at home get fed so they do better in school. Guess what? There's no demonstrable evidence they're actually doing that. There's no demonstrable evidence they're actually helping results, helping kids do better in school, which is what, when we took your money from you to say, look, we're going to go spend on an after-school program, the way we justified it was, these programs are going to help these kids do better in school and get better jobs. And we can't prove that that's happening.
Well, wait a minute. No, the whole point of feeding hungry children is so that they're not fucking hungry anymore. Are we missing the point? There are hungry children. Let's feed them. Let's make sure that they're not hungry when they're at school. That's a simple concept. But no, talking about results. You've got to be kidding me. Look, we shouldn't even have to be defending these programs. We're not a poor country. We're the richest country on earth, and we're talking about killing programs that feed children and keep old people from going hungry. Look, Meals on Wheels specifically. This is a program that serves more than 2.4 million people that have physical limitations and financial burdens that make it very hard or difficult or impossible to shop for or prepare meals for themselves. It should not be a conversation. If people are hungry, you feed them. I thought this was supposed to be a Christian country. If you keep right-wingers going around saying, we're a Christian country, we're a Christian nation, we need to be a Christian nation. Well, you feed the poor. That's what Jesus would do. That's what Jesus fucking did. He fed the poor. God damn. Look, and as far as not showing results, okay. You know what? He's wrong. He's actually wrong on the facts as well. Not only is he morally abhorrently wrong, he also is wrong on facts. Let me show you some results. A 2013 review of studies found that home-delivered meal programs for seniors, quote, significantly improve diet quality, increase nutrient intakes, and reduce food insecurity and nutritional risk among participants. Other beneficial outcomes include increased socialization opportunities, improvements in dietary adherence, and higher quality of life. Now, say you're an asshole and don't care about any of that. Well, I don't care if old people have a better diet or a better quality of life. Fuck them. Blah. I don't know who does that, by the way. But I just imagine some asshole, flapping his jowls. Anyway. Now, say you're one of those douchebags, right? Well, these programs also save money. They're more bang for your buck. Let me explain. According to the Washington Post, these programs are also aligned with federal cost containment policy to rebalance long-term care away from nursing homes to home and community-based services by helping other adults maintain independence and remain in their homes and communities as their health and function decline. In other words, these programs help seniors stay at home and out of very costly nursing homes. Now, if you want to keep healthcare costs down, if all you're worried about is how much money you're spending, then programs like these save money, and you should be in favor of them. In favor. In fact, the average cost of a 1-month nursing home stay is equivalent to providing home-delivered meals 5 days a week for approximately, get this, 7 years. A 1-month stay in a nursing home is equivalent to 7 years of Meals on Wheels programs. So, if you're an asshole that is only worried about how much cost, then you should look at these programs and be like, no brainer. No brainer. Unless you have no fucking heart and no fucking soul, and you want them to die in the street. Not only that, there's more. A 2013 study by researchers at Brown found that in most states, increasing Meals on Wheels enrollment would result in a net savings from decreased Medicaid costs for nursing home care. Those same researchers conducted a random controlled trial of Meals on Wheels efficacy, right? The thing that Mulvaney is so fucking worried about. Efficacy. The study, which was funded by the AARP, enrolled hundreds of seniors on food waiting lists across the United States. Some received daily meal deliveries, others got weekly bulk frozen food deliveries, and some remained on waiting lists, so some didn't get food at all. Now, what they found is that there were statistically significant differences in health benefits among the three different groups, with the highest gains recognized among participants living alone who had face-to-face contact via deliveries, according to lead researcher Kaylee Thomas. Those receiving daily meals also experienced fewer falls and hospitalizations. Also, that goes and saves money. So, you want results, Mick Mulvaney? There's your fucking results. Unless, of course, all you want is for these people to just die. And look, hey, them dying seems to save you a lot of money. So maybe that's your plan, after all. What a bunch of penny-pinching, miser assholes. And this guy is king of the assholes. Literally, with this budget, you are taking the most from the most vulnerable and giving to the most well-off. The corporations are getting all the benefits from the Trump budget. Poor people, the elderly, all getting shafted. People who care about the arts, even if you don't give a shit about the arts, that's also getting cut. There are environmental regulations getting cut, which impacts people's health, by the way, in case you didn't know. Pollution kind of impacts your health. Breathing in clean air and drinking clean water, that affects your health. All this different stuff. This budget is atrocious. Mulvaney, Trump, Ryan, these people are monsters who think that it's a good thing to see old people starve rather than spend another goddamn nickel on making sure to feed them. No, gotta feed our donors. Gotta feed the donors. Gotta give them more tax cuts. Gotta reduce their regulations. At the expense of regular people if you willingly keep voting for people like this, for people like Mulvaney, you cannot call yourself a Christian. We're not a Christian nation, and you cannot call yourself a decent fucking human being. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.